region and arguments for when people first came into the Americas. Okay. After successful completion of this week, you will be able to describe the geographic boundaries, time-transgressive nature, and paleo-environmental setting of the Bering Land Bridge and Greater Beringia. So the Bering Land Bridge actually is this area here that is today underwater, and that was dry land in the past, a dry lowland. When we say Beringia, Greater Beringia, we're really talking about a larger ecosystem that no longer exists, bounded on the east by the Cordilleran and Laurentide ice sheets in what is present-day Yukon and Alaska, and then on the west by the Lena River out here, which is actually off the map. So when we say Beringia, we're talking about a past continent, an ecosystem with no modern analogy. When we say the land bridge, we're talking about an area that was dry land many times during the past. And so we need to understand that, and we want to build a sense of community with each other a little bit this first week in a first discussion forum and introduce ourselves. So what we want to focus on this week is understanding the geography of Beringia. And this is Beringia about 18,000 years ago. About 18,000 years ago is the height of the last glaciation, the Wisconsin glacial advance. And this is what the Beringia and the Bering Land Bridge looked like at that time. The white is glacier, the blue is water, and the green is land. And you can see that you can see the outline, present-day outlines of eastern Siberia and Alaska and the areas that were dry land in the past that are now underwater. And they were flat, but fairly dry areas. So the land bridge was not ice. When we say eastern Beringia, we mean this area over here. Central Beringia is really this area in here, and western Beringia out here. All right. So what we're going to do this week is I want you to look for 3 images on the internet that depict Beringia and the Bering Land Bridge at more than one point in time. So this is an image from 18,000 years ago, well, depicting what things would have looked like 18,000 years ago. The image isn't that old. And I want you to find several images like this, maybe one of the present day that shows vegetation communities, one of the past that shows vegetation communities of the past. I want you to really find 3 images that really depict this area at different points in time. It will help you understand the time-transgressive nature of the paleogeography, the glaciers, advances, the waxing and waning, the sea level rise and fall. Here's an area called the ice-free corridor, which was only open at certain times, but it's a kind of an area between the Laurentide and Cordilleran ice sheets. Okay, it's a dynamic waxing and waning. As there was more water in the glaciers, there was less water in the ocean. And we want to think about the aerial and biotic extent of the Bering Land Bridge. Okay, the boundaries of it would have changed, shrunk, and enlarged many times. The biotic communities, that means the plant and animal communities, were very different in the past. So that's extremely interesting to think about. All right, and some of the temporal terms we used to refer to this time period. The Pleistocene. Okay, the Pleistocene is a geological epoch, part of the Quaternary period. The Pleistocene is from about 2 million years ago up to 11,000 years ago. During the Pleistocene, there were a series of glacial advances and retreats, the most recent being the Wisconsin glaciation. And then the Holocene epoch beginning after that. So we want to understand some of these terms and think about time depth and the time-transgressive nature of changes in the environment of this region. Okay, so let's read Meltzer, 2001, chapters 1 and 3. Okay, let's find some images relating to Beringia and describe them, cite our sources, and introduce ourselves in first discussion forum. Okay, and then we'll have a quiz. Quiz 1. which is, it's really a reading quiz. Okay, it's a reading quiz, and it'll cover the readings in Meltzer's chapters 1 and 3. So, all right, folks, excellent. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you this quarter. Thank you.